Sometimes we find that great service is mostly about the attitude of the organisation. Take the other day, for example. I wanted a sandwich when I was up in London. I'd heard that Pret a Manger had both good sandwiches and actually quite good service, so I thought I'd give them a try. I went into one of their London branches and thought, what do I fancy? Let's have a sandwich. So I approached the chiller cabinet, which was seething in people trying to select their sandwiches for lunch. I fought my way to the front, grabbed a very attractive looking salmon and rocket sandwich, and then thought, oh God, here comes the painful bit, queuing to pay and to grab the coffee that will wash my sandwich down. But I took a look over at the counter and I was quite pleasantly surprised. There seemed to be quite a lot of people serving customers, and the queue, which although it was big, was actually moving quite quickly. And as I glanced over, I saw this assistant behind the counter smiling invitingly at me. So I made a beeline for her and reached her very, very quickly. As I got to the counter, I really couldn't resist asking how it was that they managed to make this quite so quick. And she told me they've got this particular system whereby they all turn their hand to making sandwiches first thing in the morning so that customers get really fresh sandwiches. But then what they do is they turn their attention to counter service, so that by the time the lunchtime rush arrives, they're all on the counter minimising the waits for customers. As she was telling me this, she turned to make my coffee, which probably took about 30 seconds, and while she was doing that, she prepared the bill. So I was presented with a lovely bag full of my sandwich and coffee. I'd paid, and I was probably out of there in 2 or 3 minutes. You can spend double or treble that time in many sandwich bars in London, so Pret a Manger appear to have got it right. So what do we learn from that experience I had in that sandwich bar? Being a little bit sad and into customer service, I thought I'll do a little bit of research into Pret a Manger's business model. What I found was that their ethos is basically to deliver a great sandwich at the speed the customer wants it, and in a way that they don't lose money, because in fact customers keep coming back and buying sandwiches day after day because they value the speedy service that they get at a Pret a Manger branch. In fact, they've been so successful at it that they were bought a couple of years ago by the McDonald's franchise, so they must think they're doing something right. That fast service ethos and that business model needs to be consistent so that customers can go and recognise that they'll get a great service with a terrific sandwich wherever they happen to be visiting their Pret a Manger store. What a terrific lesson